Guerrilla Coffee TV, and today I have the pleasure of having the Tioga County Commissioner, Roger Bunn, here with me. And so, Roger, I'm really grateful that you were willing to take the time to come over here and join me on my little half-assed TV production thing I got going on here. And you were always, throughout my time knowing you, I mean, we first met a couple years ago when I was running the rehab, and I was reaching out to you to kind of, help me with sort of seeking some outside funding to do a larger project here in Blossburg at the hospital. And you have always been very helpful. You've always gone like above and beyond to be useful to me and to, I'm certain that you have a number of people that are always trying to bend your ear and get your attention, and every time I've ever reached out to you, you have always been there to be helpful to me. So I thank you for that.
Well, first off, thank you for inviting me to be on your, I won't say it, TV show.
Right.
I do appreciate the opportunity to visit with you. And as far as the reaching out and working with you, as commissioners, the board here in Tioga County, we have tried to help with the economics of it. We've had a couple economic summits, and we have a workforce problem here.
Yeah.
And I'm also finding we're having sometimes a facility problem.
Right.
But
you're talking about on the substance abuse type side of things,
yes,
right? Yeah, right.
And we discussed in detail the old state hospital up here.
Right.
And,
so it wasn't me. It wasn't anything special about me. I get it now. All right.
So whoever would come along and want to do that.
Yeah.
We have the commissioners have a responsibility to work with whoever comes forward, and we were excited for the potential of what could potentially be done there.
Sure.
With the drug rehab issue. It is an ongoing problem.
Well, I appreciate that, and that kind of speaks even louder just to kind of the type of person that you are and the position of the commissioners in general. Your intent and your motives behind what you guys do. Before we kind of got too deep in anything here, I wanted to say So I saw you, I guess, last week at there was an open forum for kind of discussing legalization of recreational marijuana over at Mansfield University. And, I guess, one of the things that kind of stand out to me is that, so it doesn't matter what kind of crazy person says the most bizarre thing in the audience, you somehow always manage to just maintain a straight face no matter what. How do you, how do you practice that? The one guy said something about I wish that you as leaders would just, make the decisions for us on our behalfs and disregard the popular opinion of what everybody else thinks, totally throwing away any of his, rights in a democracy that we have. So, how do you do that? And then secondly, I guess I wanted to know, what do you think about the whole thing? Because I didn't get to be there to hear what you had to say about the subject. So,
it's an interesting topic, and I appreciate the idea of a listening tour. But with anything like this, you'll have the vocal individuals that have an agenda. And I'm sorry you missed my comments. The Lieutenant Governor kicked it off, told how it was going to work, and he said he's taking the first call from the floor, and I asked him if I could start it, and he said of course. So I appreciated that. And my position on this, as I stated in that public forum, was I'm opposed to it on a personal basis.
Sure.
But I can't let that interfere or sway what I do or what I don't do as a county commissioner.
Right.
And so to take that forward, we need a lot more research. Not just from what marijuana does to the brain.
Right.
I think there's a lot of facts there, and especially with young people, It affects their learning in later years. There's a lot of science behind it. That's one thing. The other thing is the ancillary effects to the society. And I requested of the Lieutenant Governor that he reach out to these other states that have already gone down this road, and let's learn from them. Yes, I'm sure there's
because
there would be a lot of revenue.
And I heard the one guy.
Big issue.
I heard the one student who actually had spoken, and he had said something about apparently he had really done a lot of research into areas where it had already been legalized, and one of the things that he really pointed out is that there was not a reduction in crime as a lot of places had proposed, but there was actually an increase.
A slight uptick.
So I mean, I thought that was interesting because everybody's like, oh, there's a reduction in crime, there's tax revenue, it's all pretty and everything's great, but like
he also he's done a lot of research, and one of his points was for every dollar you bring in taxes with marijuana, it's going to cost you $4.
Right.
Now, I haven't seen his research.
Yeah, where's that come from?
Yeah, and so I'm not going to judge on that. To me, that seems like a pretty big number.
Yeah.
However, I'm willing to look at what he has, and he said he would reach out to me. I've not heard from him.
Right.
But I gave him my card, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I think that there's always people that show up with those things that kind of like bomb them with fake data and stuff too. But
right. So you have to really look at what are the facts,
right,
and make your decision on that. So it was an interesting evening, and as far as keeping a straight face, I don't know. I've never been a really.
I can't control myself. You know what I mean? I can't.
I've had a lot of experience in dealing with people.
Yeah.
And as and I don't look at myself as a politician.
Sure.
But as a politician, everybody has a right to be heard.
Sure.
And this, I have to listen to them.
Yeah. So I mean, that was something else I wanted to ask you about. So I mean, why did you get into politics in the first place? Was it for the girls or what? Like what?
Not at my age. No. When I retired from the Navy, I went into another career for another 20 years, and I retired from that. And I was sitting at my campfire one night reading the paper and saw some things that had gone on. In the meantime, I had run for and got elected to the Blossburg Borough Council. So I was serving on Borough Council, and I was somewhat getting a feel of what you can do for your community. And at the borough level, you can get a lot done.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was sitting there reading the newspaper, and I thought, oh gosh, I wish I had been there. I think maybe I could have averted this particular issue. I think maybe I'll run for it.
Right.
I'll try this. There's an election going to come up, and so I really sort of looked into it, and I thought, I had a military career. I have a business background. I have a master's degree in business.
Oh wow.
I've dealt with people for a long time. I know how to work with budgets. So I think I can do this. But then I lost in my first primary.
Did you really?
And that was somewhat of a whoa.
Right. This is the wrong idea.
That inflated or deflated my ego a little bit.
Right.
But then my wife and I decided, well, we'll try write-in, and we were very fortunate to. We put together a good team, and some people stepped forward, and we won a write-in.
Wow.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
I'm now in my 8th year, and we have an election coming up the 21st of this month.
So what's so 8 years. I mean, is how often are commissioners elected?
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years. Okay, so this will be your third term.
If I get reelected, it'll be my third term.
So what is like what would be like I'm kind of ignorant to it, but what would be like your agenda, or what are some of the kind of the key points behind you wanting to continue being a commissioner? Because I know that there's 3 commissioners, but you're like pretty much the boss there, right?
Well, I was the top vote getter.
Right, yeah.
So that puts me in a nice position. However, we rotate as a board the chair of it every year. And this year, Commissioner Coolidge is the chair.
Okay, yep.
And so I hope if I the top vote getter going in, and
Right.
I'll be back in the chair the first shot. But as far as agendas, you have to work. That was one of the, I won't say it was a rough point, but I got out of the Navy, then I went to work for a company that gave me free rein. And, as long as I was providing the product and they were making money, I could pretty much do what I wanted to do.
Sure.
I was my own cost center for 20 years.
Right.
And so then I got elected as commissioner, and I had to get somebody to agree with me. I couldn't just go in there and say, it's my idea that we get this bridge built, and we're going to do it now.
Yeah.
I have to get somebody to agree with you.
I remember dealing with you guys, and just one thing, just Roger, can we just get this thing done? Well, I am one of 3 commissioners, and we have to, so
the other,
that's challenging.
We are of equal. We're 3 equals. The chair sets the agenda for the meetings. However, the chair takes the input of the other 2. We won't.
Right.
If he does something we don't agree with, then we can, at the meeting, we would say, I want to add to the agenda.
Yeah.
So we've worked really well together for 7+ years now. So
that's how long all 3 of you have been there together?
Well, Commissioner, yes, that's how long we've been there together.
Hamilton, Coolidge, and you, right?
Yes. Commissioner Coolidge has been there, I think, 24 years.
Oh, wow.
Commissioner Hamilton, 16 years.
Okay.
So
you're actually the youngest one in there.
I'm the youngest one. They wouldn't agree that I'm the youngest.
Right. Well, I think it's incredible, and I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I appreciate that. I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of share anything that was important for you to kind of share, and I don't have a huge following or anything like that, but the more people that hear what you have to say is the better, I think. Well,
the one thing that, since I have the golden mic here,
right,
if anybody can see, I really like this. I encourage people to vote. And do your homework, look at who's running, and at the municipal level, the boroughs, the townships, it's important. That's where things get done. Your township supervisors, your borough council, and then at the county commissioner level, we work under a lot of rules.
Yeah.
We have a lot of guidelines. We have a huge budget. It's almost $30 million here in Tioga County.
Wow.
And a lot of it is we have to spend it here.
Yeah.
And so we have a little bit of discretionary, but not much.
Sure.
And what is discretionary is not our money. That's taxpayers' money.
Sure, yep.
And I just have to say, thanks to our chief clerk and our department heads, we have not had a county tax increase since I've been there. I think it's been about 10 years now.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible.
And we're debt-free, and we have a balanced budget.
And there has been development. I mean, it's not like you've been stagnant or anything like that. There's been constant growth.
But I have to commend our county staff and what they get done with that. It's just incredible. So.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much, Roger, for coming.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
My first shot on
a
TV interview. How'd I do?